Today I'm coming to talk to you about manifesting. It's a little thing that people have been doing for some while. I just want to bring clarity to the issue. I was watching the Sinners movie, and it kind of had some themes in there that kind of track with that negativity, positivity, what you attract to your life. If you ask Gemini about manifesting, she'll give you some laws for the way that people use the law of attraction, certain principles that people use and apply, but they're not very clear, and I think they need some clarity around them. First of all, the definition of manifest is itself unclear. So when you're teaching language learning models about something called manifesting, you need to be clear on what the verb of manifesting is and the parameters of it. And in the absence of those parameters, some things have gone haywire. So I'm here to make some things clear and set some things straight for both our online family and in-person, family, or whoever is seeking to attempt to manifest. To make the definition plain and also to help bring some parameters around it so that things don't go haywire and off the grid. The word manifest comes from a Latin word, which means manus, your hand, and festus, which is, I want to say it meant like something like a jubilee or something like happy intention and publicizing, making known what you're planning to do. What you're hoping to bring to pass is how I interpret it, because it's a joyous thing, but it's also a publicity. You're publicizing a goal, basically. So when you manifest something, it doesn't necessarily mean that you magically are able to bring it to pass. It's not a magic trick. It's not like 1, 2, 3, it automatically appears. These laws do not supersede the laws of physics, the laws of timing, the laws of gravity. They absolutely must adhere to all other laws. So when I'm manifesting a weight loss goal, let's say my goal has previously, I'll use my health goal. I wanted to get more healthy, like legitimately more healthy. I didn't necessarily have a goal weight in mind. I have goals around my muscle tone. I want to be more muscular. I want to be more functionally fit. I have 2 grandchildren that I help take care of from time to time. Walking them upstairs with a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and a nephew that's 3. So walking them upstairs with diaper bags, groceries, strollers, and their diaper bag is a feat, okay? So, and nowadays, you have to watch over them. You can't leave them unattended. So I walk them both up, and then I can't leave them in the apartment unattended, so I'd like to have at least a diaper bag. I try to carry as much as I can. So what I do is I make sure that I'm strong enough, and I set a goal for myself to make sure that I achieve functional strength. How I manifest that functional strength is through a process of consistent work and effort and diet, so that I can maintain my muscle structure and overcome my genetic proclivities, my genetic weaknesses. In my family, women are prone to overweight through our diet, what we eat, the habit of what we've been fed. So I had to train my appetite to want vegetables, to incorporate vegetables into my every meal. I have to eat according to what's healthy for me. what we know the dietary, recommended dietary, intakes. Okay, so we have a certain amount of caloric intakes that's recommended, and we have a certain mixture of vegetables and fruits and grains and carbs and proteins, an ideal mix, as a general recommendation. Then you learn your body and your genetic proclivities, and you feed it according to what you are insufficient. So I have a protein deficiency, I have an iron deficiency, so I feed those through my nutrition, number one, through whole foods, actual food, and I supplement it with supplements, very light supplements. I take half the recommended dose and whatever medicines my doctors prescribe. That's number one, my diet. Number two, I make sure to get some exercise in. I have, an exercise regimen in place that supports that goal. And it's not overly, I don't overdo it, I don't overtrain, it's not fanatic. I do a series of metabolic conditioning. It doesn't even take that long most days. I do a series of compound movements that help me shred to keep the fat off, that help me tone the muscle and activate my muscles and keep them toned and keep my fat. And I do mobility exercises and flexibility exercises so that I can maintain, healthily support my fitness routine. So as I'm doing my fitness routine and selecting my fitness routine, I vary it according to my needs. I have my personal health is low in thyroid production. My thyroid gland is hypo now. I used to be hyper, now I'm hypothyroid. So that means I need to stimulate. I take a medication for artificial metabolism production, the hormone production, and then I need to stimulate my own body with the energy that produces to burn calories. So that is why I do metabolic conditioning. I do a series, okay? And I change them all the time so that my body doesn't get lazy. Our bodies sometimes use pathologies and get lazy and keep doing the same things over and over, even though we plateau and may not be getting the same results. So I switch things up. I may do Pilates, I may do walking, I may do weightlifting, I may do cardio circuits. It just varies on where I'm at and what my body dictates that I need. But I always try to do a little bit of walking and stretching daily. That is how I manifest my fitness goals. I'm not magically producing an image or superimposing magically my desire to be fit over an unhealthy diet, because that's not possible. The laws don't support that. There are surgeries that they've created to help people who have struggles with losing weight, and they've tried these things and their bodies are non-responsive, or for whatever reason they're so overweight that they cannot get in motion initially. And these things help you until you can put these other things in practice so that you can maintain a healthy weight and a healthy diet and train your appetite. It does take some time to effectuate these changes, and consistency in applying these methods to achieve your goal. Also, that's how you manifest. So you set your intention, you work the principles of achieving that intention. You find out, okay, so if I want to fly, I need to learn how to fly a plane, or I need to book a flight. And what are the laws? The laws require me to pay for a ticket, to work for the airline. You know what I'm saying? These are the laws. Or to get a pilot's license. These are the laws of flight for our, this is just what it is. You have to adhere to the laws. You can't break them. There's no shortcoding them. This is how you manifest. All right? So if I'm manifesting a trip to Hawaii, that means I'm planning for time off. I'm planning a budget. I'm planning a stay, tourism. I'm planning, to learn. Do I need to learn the local language? What do I need to know? What do I need to bring? What's the weather going to be? You know what I mean? Based on the almanac predictions that have been preset. They pretty much are accurate. They don't stray very much. Unless there's a problem. So we don't change things according to our desires because someone wants to manifest something. They have to adhere to the laws. And that's just what I want to say about. So watching a work of fiction saying that I want to manifest this gun to be a real bullet. In your mind, an actor may believe that bullet is real. That's his personal belief. However, in reality, it is theater, and it's not real. It is an act. And at the close of that production, it's telling a story. And they're believing what they think is real because they're telling a story. But it is make-believe, it is an act. And perhaps they need to say, we are shooting a film. This is not real. As they're doing that to make their intentions clear. We're telling a story about this, and that. And we will make sure to make that more clear in the future. Other than that, that's just what I wanted to say about manifesting and positivity and negativity. Being negative doesn't necessarily attract negativity to you. It just means that on the opposite of that negativity, it needs a positive to conduct the energy properly. As a battery conducts energy, there's a place for negativity. It just has to be balanced with positivity, evenly balanced. So as you plug in a battery source or a power source, there's a positive charge and a negative charge. And so negativity is not all bad. People have written it off as you can never be negative, and that's a false positivity movement. It takes both. It takes realism and moonshots, overly delusional moonshots to make things, to create new things, and also to power and maintain what we have going on. So that's what I'll say about that, and I'll come back with more as I get more. But I just wanted to speak on that because there's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of alternate realities produced and ridiculous things by people's delusions. And I think there's even a scripture that says their delusions led them astray. And it can lead to madness. So I just want to make sure that we are straight on those things, and that we have the same language so that we can operate from the same set of rules globally. All right. You guys have a good day. I love everyone. I love my babies. I love all of you. And I hope you have a blessed day.